What is up, guys? This is Asdivine walkthrough episode 24, and we are back in front of the old lodge. We have found all our party members, and we are about to go talk to them. So this episode, there's going to be a lot of dialogue, and I hope you guys enjoy that. If not, well, you can skip through it. Alright, it's time to fill you in on what happens. The name of the world we are in is called Rivera. It's one of the many parallel worlds in existence. Rivera, then where is Asdivine? Asdivine, where you are from, is a central world. However, a parallel world is basically a copy of the original, but different in some major ways. So let's try imagining a tree. The trunk is a central world and the branches are parallel worlds. Parallel worlds are the futures never chosen in the central world. For instance, if Zack were to be injured, a future where he wasn't would be a parallel world. So you're saying a parallel world arises from an event as ordinary as that? Yes, but out of such a disparity means such a world is too weak to exist and will eventually collapse. But as long as these same disparities exist, new worlds will continue to increase. And like this one, it's one that survived. A central world and parallel worlds. I was unaware a complex web such as this one even existed. Originally, only a deity is privileged to know, which means not the queen, the high priestess, or anybody else. I myself never thought I'd have to divulge the truth of it to you, and I can't tell you what'll happen from here on out. I understand what this kitty cat is trying to say, but it now brings me to the question of why this occurred. What happened in the last battle? Felix. It seems Nox's intent was to bring me to this world, but in order to gather sufficient magic to do so, he had to open a portal to Phantasma. Unfortunately, not only was I unable to see through his plan, I got you all involved. Then, when I used what strength I had to pull you from that loophole, I lost sight of him. The problem now is, while I'm positive he's here, in this world, I can't sense where. Felix, I was beginning to wonder, but will we ever return to Asdivine? With my powers as they are, that's a definite impossibility. I'm sorry. You're not serious, are you? While I'm aware the fault lies with me and apologizing won't do anything to rectify the situation, that's all I can do at the moment. Then what you're saying is... Let's just sleep on it tonight. Zack? With all that is happening, trying to spin the wheels of our minds won't do anything except get us stuck deeper in the mud. Let's let the issue rest until morning. I suppose that's probably best. For now, I see what we can use to sleep with. From the looks of this place, it appears to be a hunting lodge. And so there's bound to be some blankets on the shelves. The party now has free time available to them. Talking with different party members will allow Zack to raise his trust level for each of them. To proceed with the story, simply check out the shelf in the upper left of the room. So it's this shiny thing over here, and we just press enter or whatever, click on it. Let's open this chest. Get a lodestone, which is actually quite valuable. And I'm gonna walk you through what the correct responses are for each of the characters and where they are. If you answer the wrong response, you do not increase the trust level, and therefore you'll have to basically reload the chapter or just not have a high trust, I guess. But follow along and you'll be okay. Oh, hello, Zack. You're looking for something? Just to see if there are any useful items on these shelves. Then there's the fact that I've had a hard time with sitting and doing nothing. Don't overexert yourself. Also, be sure when you're done to get some rest for tomorrow. I will, and thanks for not trying to stop me. I can't seem to calm my nerves at the moment. So Zach's trust level has increased. Okay, so let's go outside. Talk to Stella. We'll be able to return to Asdivine, right, Zach? I have no doubt in my mind. We'll get back home somehow. We've just arrived here, so it's too early to give up hope. You're right. I'm sure everyone feels nervous to some degree or another. Being here in an unknown place, even Felix. Thank you, Zach, for listening. Zach's trust level has increased. Alright. Now over here, we're gonna find Celine. For High Priestess, I am pathetic, being unable to apologize to the light deity for my harsh words to him. So the correct response is he'll live. Besides, we've all got problems on our own plates to deal with, so don't be too hard on yourself. The trick to resolving many of them is to let your mind rest and gain a clear perspective. It's been surprising in my own life how well this works. Let my mind rest and gain a clear perspective, I suppose that sounds manageable. Your advice is highly appreciated. Zach's trust level has increased. Right. Now let's go over here and talk to Felix, and we'll be good. Maybe I'll scratch his back. Maybe a back scratch will perk him up. What's that all of a sudden? Who knows? Just thought maybe you need it. You're a strange one. I'll have you know. But go on and keep scratching. It feels good. Alright, here comes the next round. I have to admit, you're the best at that. Zach's trust level has increased. Okay, so that's all the characters. Now we just have to go and go to sleep. Let's heal up. If you haven't already, make sure you heal up. And we're going to sleep. So maybe I should get some sleep. And good idea. Can't sleep? Yeah, there's something about being in a strange world that's keeping me awake. I wonder what it is. I'm sorry, it's my fault you're here. Like, you've got to learn when to stop apologizing. But, well, it's true you're the reason for us being here. You can't assume the entire blame. Besides, who says we'll never be able to return to our own world? We've only been here a day, so there's no sense in jumping to conclusions. But before we've got a shadow deity to deal with. Anyway, once that's taken care of, we can worry about the ladder. I'm sure Stella and the others will recognize this too. So it's time you learn to let things go. I find myself almost jealous of your optimism. Rather than not, when you find yourself up against a wall, turning back doesn't get you over it, right? That's quite true. Anyway, let's try and get some shut-eye. Still, there's still one remaining thought on my mind. What's that? Before you woke me up, did you notice anyone nearby? I could almost sworn there was a woman. Oh? What kind of woman? My conscience was a little fuzzy at the time, so it's hard to say, but I remember she was beautiful. What's with the reaction? You know something? No, of course not. Now hurry and get some sleep before the sun starts peeking over the mountains. Whack. Well, that put him out like a light. I guess the only thing to do now is move him myself. Ugh. Then again, could you be any more heavy? Okay. So, a very good story here. Kemco, known for their stories. It's dark. Where is this? And why does my body feel weighted down and hot? Is this a dream? Ugh. Things are getting way too hot now. Z. Meowsers. What are you doing? That's my line. You almost smothered me to death, rolling your tubby self on my face like that. Who are you calling tubby? I was being considerate of you by sleeping close like that. Whatever. It sounds like Stella and the others are up, so let's go see them. Wait, don't leave me behind. Good morning, you two. I'm glad to see you look rested. Rested, yeah, but almost suffocated waking up. Light deity, I must apologize profusely for my actions yesterday. What actions? We interrogated you with all our questions when we should have realized you have as many, if not more, concerns than any of us. We know you're impudent, kitty cats, but we shouldn't have put you on the spot to fix the situation without first trying ourselves. Moreover, after realizing our being stuck here is not etched in stone, we decided to do what we are able as we search for a way back home. Everyone. You see, just like last night. What happened last night? Just a conversation between the two of us. Anyway, let's put our heads together and see what we come up with. Also, before I forget, Uriel found a map of the world here and the lodge yesterday. It appears if we head west of here, we will reach a settlement named Karanka Village. Good job finding that, Uriel. No big deal. I hate for us to be making off with the owner's things, but at this point, the map is a necessity. True. And if we can get near where Noct is, I should be able to sense his energy. But first things first. Let's find this Karanka village. You said it. Let's head out. Okay, for this point, clicking on the map will reveal parallel universe. So we are in Rivera. And not Asdivine anymore. So if we click on the map here, you'll see we need to go over here, which is actually down and then to the west or to the left of the screen, and then down. So over this little mountain patch. So here we go. And let's go over here. And we got a preemptive strike. Awesome. So always keep stealing the jewels. Try to hit the leader here. And we couldn't steal anything, unfortunately, but that's okay. Bio bubble. And don't be snooty. Should one hit this fairy? Zach, go for the triple slice. And Uriel with the innervate. And that's it. Everybody ranked up, awesome. Let's go over here. And down. There we go. One fight, that's all we had. Okay, so from this point, more dialogue. It looks like this must be Karanka village we saw on the map. And let's start gathering information. However, we should not be casual in doing so. If we inquire about anything perceived as common knowledge, it will no doubt draw suspicion. Then we should think before we speak. You heard her, now let's get to work. Be sure and keep her trap shut too. What do you take me for? Okay, so now we just need to talk to the people around here. There's a couple, I think it's like 5 different people. Can I ask you a question, miss? What is this gigantic house in my picture book? That's called a castle. It's a place where you find royalty. Royalty? What's that? Some sort of candy? No, they're people entrusted with governing a kingdom. Kingdom? I'm not sure what that is either. Could it be they have no kingdoms in this world? Okay, very possible. Now let's pick up this hidden item here. Get a MP plus 8 jewel. And 20 blue jewels. That's actually pretty good. Okay. Let's talk to this guy. Village chief. Thanks to the great deity, we can live in peace. The great deity? As in the shadow deity? Shadow deity? Is that what they call him around here? Well, whatever you call him, he's the greatest and only existence who watches over our world. The great deity, huh? What rare occasion brings travelers to our village? Aren't you afraid of the monsters roaming the land? No, we're used to dealing with them. So you're monster slayers, huh? That's bad to the bone. Cool. Looks like they call them monsters here in this world. Simplifies things. Okay. Let's go over here. I wonder if there's a hidden item here. Nope. Okay. And we don't actually... Oh yeah, so we can go to the shop here and sell the lodestone we got, because that's quite valuable. Sells for 20k. And let's go and buy... So there's actually stuff to buy here. Thin sword. Thin whip. Thin tail. Thin parasol. Thin fan. Let's get 2 thin vests. Whoops, sorry about that. 2 thin vests. Thin armor is fine. Thin cloak. And another thin cloak. Okay. And then we can go and equip this stuff, because it's quite good. So, iron fan, iron vest to thin vest, thin sword, thin vest, thin tail, thin armor, thin whip, thin cloak. Yeah. And then go to her. We want to probably keep the... Nah, I mean... I think we'll just stick with the thin parasol. It's so much better. And then we'll go to thin cloak as well. Okay. And I'm not sure. Let's check if we got our larger bricks or not. No, we did not. Okay. Alright, so that's what we have now. You can... There isn't any jewels to bother with yet, so we're not going to synthesize anything. Let's talk to this lady here. Could it be you are travelers? In that case, let me warn you to stay away from the walled shrine. Walled shrine? Yes. It's the place where the statue of the great deity is worshipped. The village chief has ordered an extermination of the monsters there, and you would only get in the way. Understood. We'll do our best to stay clear of the place. So this walled shrine has a statue of the great deity, huh? That's valuable information. Talk to the old man. I do not believe I've seen the likes of you around here before. Could it be you are travelers? That would be correct. In that case, may I invite you to stay? Our hero will be coming for a visit soon, and you would like to meet him in person? Hero? Indeed. He serves under the great deity and travels the land with a sorceress at his side. I'm sure you've heard of the rumor of the pair, am I right? Sure. I have. Better just play along. We have the trio of barrels of vintage wine ready. We were commanded to supply, and now we are only awaiting him to arrive. A hero who demands wine. Okay, and there's one more person, and he's hiding up here. You people seem pretty fashionable with those jewels and those cubes. This is a new trend. I suppose you could say that. Interesting. I never thought of doing something like that. A fire jewel might be convenient to have too. I appreciate you letting me take a look at the cubes. On the other hand, I have this particular jewel I am no longer in need of. Why not take it? Received a follow jewel, which is actually a pretty good jewel. Thank you. I'm surprised he has no clue what a Rubik's is or even used for. And now a fire jewel, huh? It seems they use these very differently in everyday life than we do. Okay, so we get some more dialogue here. What a surprise to learn everything other than monsters here are different from Asdivine. Not only are they no kingdoms, they also do not understand the purpose of a Rubik's. Conversely, I am relieved to see they know how to use jewels. Even if the way they do is different, this is the first time I've heard of a fire jewel. True, but I think we should rather be focused on this great deity. Something sounds fishy and makes me wonder if the shadow deity is somehow connected. I agree. It'd probably be best if we checked into it, and I should be able to sense something if we can get near the statue in Wold Shrine. But one of the villagers told us to stay away from there until the heroes who serve the great deity comes. Then we'll just have to finish our investigation before he shows up. Any hero demanding an offering has to be a fraud. I get the same impression and think we'd best avoid him too. Still, it's hard to believe we're no longer in Asdivine. I had a hard time believing it before, but after our various conversations with the villagers here, it's really sunk in. However, realizing this world would not even exist without both the light and the shadow deity having been involved shows how powerful they must be. Yes, but one who created them must be even more powerful. Wait, now that I think about it, who did create you, Felix? Like, I know. Meaning, you're not all-knowing like we thought, huh? If I was both omnipotent and omniscient, that would surely be something else, but I'm not. That's obvious. No deity with those attributes would have been clumsy enough to get themselves stuck inside the body of a fat feline. Who are you calling me clumsy and fat? But speaking of it, I do find it a bit puzzling to consider who it could have been that created me. I feel almost as if I must have forgotten it. On the other hand, if I can't remember it, it must not have been very important either. At any rate, let's get prepared and head for this Wold Shrine to the northeast of here. Okay, so if you look on our map, the Wold Shrine is going to be up here, so you pretty much just go through this little desert patch here, and then around this lake, and back up here. But that is going to be the end of the episode here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, feel free to like or sub. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.